Hey everybody, it's Atheist for the Cause, and I wanted to go over President Trump's job approval. I haven't done it in a little while, so if we look at it quickly, you can see the graph here, and I wanted to point to this quick, you see this little uptick here? That actually isn't as bad as it looks, because what caused that uptick is not that the polls went away from Trump, it's that the Pew Research, which was only -12 under the spread, that cycled out, and so that's why that uptick happened. And the Pew Research, it doesn't have enough. They don't do polling enough to constantly have a recent poll in, and they're more of a reasonable polling place, and so they're about where the job approval probably actually is. And the spread's a little high because you get some of these ridiculous ones from places like CBS where they're the mainstream media funding them, and you get like -21. But those are realistically probably high because CBS News, Reuters, those are the types of places that are coming out with these. Quinnipiac is regularly up there, but even right now they're at -15. So recently the Gallup is the only one to have come out within the last few days, and they're at -17. Which is actually down from -23 from just a couple weeks ago. And then Rasmussen stayed at -10 here, and they were at -10. If I can find it right here, they were at -10. And you had a couple of them like these are from a couple of days ago, but Economist YouGov is at -12. It was at -11, close enough. Reuters -19. It was at -23. That's actually down. So it shows you things are actually going in the right direction for President Trump. And this uptick here, you're looking, these small movements are actually quite a bit when you're talking about an aggregate like this. So this upswing here shows a likely trend. I would expect this to keep moving up, and I would expect this red one to move down. So we should, right now we're at, disapprove is up 14.7, which is, about where Trump needs to be to get reelected. And there's a lot of people that will say they disapprove just because of natural pessimism of politics and all of that, but they would actually vote for Trump when it came down to it. And they're being, counted as a negative right now. So expect a disapproval rating to some extent, but as you can see the numbers, some of them are, Trump 40% gets him reelected, according to models I've showed in my past videos. Rasmussen has them at 45. Remember, they have all 100% accounted for. If there are people who they say they don't know or have no opinion, then Rasmussen drops them from the percentage. Whereas some of these others, they keep them in and as a percentage, and then that drops the approval rating because a lot of those people that don't know would actually go for Trump. So you see here, this doesn't add up to 100%, and it's a little lower in approval rating at 39. That would probably, still keep the Senate and majority, and probably a House majority as well. So all of these numbers, if it got into 37, 38, 36, that would get a little hairy then. But 38's the fringe, probably. The Senate still stays Republican majority, but if you get down to 37, 36, then you probably have a 50-50 Senate. So if you want to understand why, then you can look at my past videos where I go over the modeling of it, unless you don't buy into the modeling, which is fine. It's it's not an in-depth thing by any means, but it just gives us some basic idea. But Trump's about where it needs to be, and once healthcare gets passed, I think that will ease a lot of concerns, as long as it's a reasonable healthcare plan. So, but the G20 summit, I think you're going to see that helps Trump, and these are going to come together a little bit. So, have a good one, guys.